What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great day on this fine Thursday. And we gonna go ahead get straight into it, man. It's nothing but G takes, man. Nothing but G takes. Y'all already know we're going to the top with this. Going to the top. We got college football. Um, this is championship week, and with a lot of teams don't really want to play in the championship games anymore because it's a lot of repercussions that come with it. If you play in a championship game, you could possibly lose a spot in the playoffs. And to a lot of these teams, the playoffs is pretty much, it. Their goal, their standard is getting to the playoffs and trying to win a national championship. So, it kind of diminishes the championships, but at the same time, just like how my head coach, let everybody know, the SEC, we want to play in the SEC, we want to play in the championship. But I agree. Like I said, I agree. Of course, we want to win the SEC championship, but would I rather not be in the national championship over an SEC game? I'm gonna pick the Natty over the SEC championship every time. So that's just my opinion. Other people may feel differently. He feel differently, but you know, SEC that's still a great notch and a great belt to have. But that big dance is an even greater belt to have. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Troy versus James Madison. I'm gonna roll with James Madison. James Madison, in 2 years, let their head coach go and they right back at it again. So and then with the smaller schools getting that automatic first, getting that automatic bid with the 12 rank, that's really big for James Madison, North Texas, Tulane, those teams, because at the end of the day, those teams are 11-1, 10-2, 11-1. They deserve a shot. I'm not saying they're gonna win, but it's nice to see the small team get their reward. All right. So like I said, James Madison and Troy, I'm rolling with James Madison. North Texas versus Tulane. I'm gonna roll with Tulane because I'm gonna roll with what I know, and that's just what I've seen is that Tulane has a great team, and what their head coach and what he's established. I'm gonna roll with what I know. But what I will say is that freshman down there in North Texas and them boys that they have put around him, they doing their thing. And I think he either gonna stay there and they gonna mess around, and again they gonna be right back in it next year, trying to get that 12 man spot or a 12 team spot, and they gonna make something shake. I feel like one of these years, especially with him, if he don't go nowhere and they get some pieces around him, he gonna end up making something shake. At least win one game. He gonna win one of them games. But I'm gonna roll with Tulane for right now. Georgia versus Alabama. I'm gonna roll with Georgia. Um, I understand the last game didn't really go too well. I'm not really excited for the game because at the end of the day, Kirby Smart is like 1-7 against Alabama. So, like I said, I'm not too excited. But if they can figure out a way to be more physical, which is what they've done all year, is be more physical, wear a team down to the fourth quarter, and don't shoot themselves in the foot, I think they can win the game. But that's up to them, you know. All right, we got BYU versus Texas Tech. I'm gonna roll with Texas Tech. Texas Tech, I believe, beat BYU in the beginning of the year. But I feel like if BYU is able to win this game, they're gonna have to bump Notre Dame out. So I'm kind of rooting for BYU to win because Texas Tech is gonna get in regardless. So I'm kind of hoping that BYU wins so they can leave Notre Dame out. But I'm gonna roll with Texas Tech on that one. Ohio State versus Indiana. I'm gonna roll with Ohio State. I think it's gonna be a really good game, and I mean, this will really let everybody know where Indiana kind of stands. I think Indiana has a really good team. I think they beat some really good Big Ten teams, but Ohio State is a little bit of a different beast, and the players that they have over there, A lot of them are finna go first round, so we're gonna really see if Indiana's able to, hold up to the standard that they put out this year, which is they have a really good offense. And if that offense get the scoring points, that defense ain't gonna let you go nowhere. So, but again, they playing against Ohio State with one of the best wide receiver rooms in the world, and a really good defense, and an All-American safety that's gonna go top 5. So it's gonna be a really good game. It's gonna be really strength against strength against them. Iron sharpen iron though. Duke versus Virginia. I feel like that's the biggest debacle out of all of this. That we had a 5-way tie for second place in the ACC, and the 5th place gets into the championship. I don't know what kind of bularchy that is, but that right there, again, here you go. Here's your champion. Like I'm not finna sit right here and make it seem like Duke can't go out there and win the football game, because they can. They got a decent quarterback. But if you're, how are we even having this discussion that Virginia is finna be playing against Duke? That is crazy to me. I'm rolling with Virginia. I do not think that Duke is going to be remotely in the game. Now, if they come out there, they shut me up, they smack me in the mouth, and saying they go out there and beat the crap out of everybody, then cool. But everybody, but beat the crap out of Virginia, then cool. But to me, I think that game's going to be over in second half, second quarter, maybe the third, depending on if Virginia want to show up that game or not. We got Conference USA. I'm rolling with Kennesaw. Them boys balled out this year. I'm rolling with Kennesaw. Mountain West Conference. I'm rolling with UNLV. It's crazy that they're not ranked. UNLV should be in the possible conversation too. And then we got the MAC championship. Miami, Ohio versus Western Michigan. I'm gonna roll with Western Michigan strictly because again, I know them a little bit more. Boise State is crazy how they, was able to rally towards the end. They still made their championship and stuff like that. I still got UNLV, but it's good to see that they were resilient enough to still be able to make it to the playoffs or still be able to make it to the championship game, because they got smacked around that first game. For sure, smacked around. All right, we're going to shift on over to the NFL. We got the Cowboys versus the Lions. Now, the Lions been on that heater. I mean, not Lions. The Cowboys been on that heater. Dak out there throwing number heat. George Pickens, y'all gonna have to come up with that money, because he gonna need that at the end of the year, because he been balling. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with the hot hand. And the hot hand is Dallas right now. Jahmyr Gibbs and David, they can't win. They can't do everything, man. And even if they are doing everything, if a team figures out how to stop them, then that's it. That's it. So I'm gonna roll with the Cowboys on that one. I might regret that, but for right now, we're gonna roll with the Cowboys. Seahawks versus Atlanta. Seahawks. Next. Dolphins versus the Jets. I'm rolling with the Dolphins. Tua gonna get that next dub. Steelers versus the Ravens. With Lamar still having his might situation with his ankle, I'm gonna roll with the Ravens if he playing. If he not playing, I'm gonna roll with the Steelers. I just don't think that the team looks the same on the defense side of the ball for either one of those teams, so it could be a toss-up for both of them. So I think it's just all about which quarterback is being played, and A-Rod gonna play. So that just is what it is. Saints versus the Buccaneers. I'm gonna roll with the Buccaneers. Baker ain't really got nobody to throw the ball to, but he's still out there trying to make some shake. I respect it. The Colts versus the Jaguars. Is crazy that the Jaguars are 8-4 right now. Trevor Lawrence has been balling, but the Colts are on a slight little bit of a decline in the sense of who's really better than who, especially in the NFC right now. So, AFC, excuse me. But I'm gonna roll with the Jaguars. I just think their defense is just a little bit better than the Colts' defense. We getting the Cam Ward versus Shador game, which is fantastic. That's what I'm gonna be tuning into. I don't care about none of the other teams, what they got going on. I want to watch them two boys, see what they got going on. And we could have been in a situation where this could have been Dylan Gabriel versus freaking Cam Ward, which I'm glad we not finna see. But you know, I can't wait to see that game. I'm gonna actually roll with Shador on that one. They home. They got better defense in my opinion. If Jaden Daniels is playing against the Vikings, Commanders versus Vikings, if Jaden Daniels is playing, I'm rolling with Jaden Daniels. If he's not, I'm gonna roll with JJ. It's crazy how the rookie quarterbacks this year, or the second year quarterbacks this year, how they're really doing this year. You got Bo Nix with the best team in the league. You got Caleb right behind him, and then you got Drake May right behind him. So it's like it's really crazy how 1, 2, 3, and what 15, 16 when Bo Nix went, how all four of them are balling right now. So everybody, that draft class, you kind of say, four quarterbacks hit for sure that went in the first round. They all hit. But I'm gonna roll with the number 3 overall pick instead of, I think he was number 7 or whatever. I'm gonna roll with number 3. Yeah, or number 2. My fault. My fault, big homie. My fault. All my Commanders fans, don't come after me. Don't come after me. I fixed it. Bengals versus the Bills. I'm rolling with the Bills. That man Jamar needs to stop spitting on people. Sad I even gotta say that. Stop spitting on people, bro. That's disrespectful as fuck. Real stuff. And excuse my language. I really don't be trying to be on here cussing and stuff like that. But sometimes it tends to fly. It tends to fly out. We got the Broncos versus the Raiders. Man, get my boy Brock Bowers out of there, bro. Man, somebody get him folks two second round picks, a first and a second. Man, come on, man, get him out of there. He deserves to be on a better team. Y'all see these catches he out here. He making Geno look like he prime Geno out there. No, that's all Brock Bowers, man. Forget that. But like I said, man, Bo Nix got the best team in the league at the moment, and defense has been balling. So even in their rough games, I'm not really too high on the Broncos going too far. I feel like they can win a couple games in the playoffs, but them bad games look bad. You know what I mean? Especially them games early in the year that they lost, that they shouldn't have lost or they could have won. I can see them possibly getting beat in the playoffs off some fugazi stuff, but at the end of the day, Bo Nix is. I think they found their franchise quarterback at least. Bears versus the Packers. I'm rolling with the Bears. Again, I don't really. I like that the Packers went out, made a trade, made something happen for their defense, and shook something up to make something better for the situation. But honestly, I can't get behind Jordan Love. Can't do it. Can't do it until he becomes consistent. And I mean consistent to the point where you're not getting beat 10-7. What was it, 16-13? Then out of nowhere, you dropping points and stuff like that, and you beating the Lions. What? But you can't beat the Panthers? And I think they was at home. I can't get behind them. He lose the games that he definitely shouldn't lose. That's my thing about him. And honestly and truly, like the defense, I feel like Ben Johnson got that offense rolling. My boy DeAndre Swift on track to have 1,000+ yards this year. Shout out to the UGA boys. And then we got my man Kyle. I can't say his last name. I can't remember it, to be honest. But I loved him when he was at Rutgers. That brother was balling. So I knew he was going to be a dog. And you paired both of them up. They got them a nice little 1-2 punch out there. And they ain't going to do nothing but get better for real. So can't wait to see what that boy DeAndre do for the rest of the year. And Caleb, like I said, he been looking good, wearing his fingernail polish and all that stuff going into the games. That girl Ariel be talking about that man all the time. He out there put belt to it though. I'm so put belt on people with nail polish on. Anyways, Rams versus the Cardinals, man. I'm rolling with that man, Matty Ice. It's a new Matty Ice in town. No, I'm playing. But Matthew, yeah, he that guy, man. I think Matthew is the best quarterback in the league right now. And I know the Panthers got them a dub against them, but yeah, I don't expect them to win every game. They just need to get to the playoffs. They just need to get to the playoffs. Everybody know who the real demon is in the playoffs, and they showed you that last year when they almost beat the Eagles at the Eagles spot. So they showed you that last year. Texans versus the Chiefs. That man, Travis Kelce, is 35, 36 years old, dropping 700 plus yards, about to be 1,000. He about to be at 1,000 yards this year. At 36, that brother's balling. But, I can't really pick the Texans because I don't know if CJ is playing. If CJ is playing, I feel that they're going to get his head mushed around again. And I think they need to sit him for the rest of the year, if I'm being honest. Just because I care about the man. I don't want to see his freaking career ruined because these idiots want to give away his best freaking pieces and then told him, yeah, go play. Go play. Go play without the best tackle in the league. Yeah, go ahead. Or second best, however you want to put him. But he top 5. How about that? Top 5. Man, please. Can't do it. Put my man in harm's way. I'm gonna roll with the Chiefs because they're at home. At home, I feel like the Chiefs can maybe pull something out the rabbit hat for sure. And then we got Monday night's game. We got the Eagles versus the Chargers. I think that's gonna be a really good game. The Chargers are at home. Justin usually plays better at home. I honestly can't trust neither one of these teams, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna roll with the Eagles. I'm gonna roll with the Eagles because they maybe might be able to put some things together to win that football game. But I can see Justin Herbert making a couple plays and them getting that dub, especially with them being at home. But the Eagles ain't been looking good, in my opinion. Chargers been struggling, but they still 8-4. I feel like both of these teams are gonna be real. These are two playoff teams that they're like Georgia. They want to wear you down. They want to get real physical with you, and they want to play you in the fourth quarter, and they want to see if you could beat us in the fourth quarter. I don't like playing them games in the NFL every week. That was my problem with Georgia. I still got the same problem, but I don't like them type of games. You know what I'm saying? Because you stressing me out. But I get you. If they win in football, if they win in football games, they win in football games. But like I said, I'm gonna roll with the Eagles strictly because I just think that at some point they gonna put it together, and I think that they will put it together this week, and it's gonna take them on through the playoffs. Now, I could definitely see that going the opposite way, but like I said, I feel like Justin Herbert and them boys, they could definitely make some shake at any point in time in the game. And Justin Herbert didn't show you in primetime games, like he will tuck that mug. If he got to win the game, he will try his best to win the game. Now, I think that he has sold probably 2 games this year. I won't put everyone on him, but I feel like he's been having a pretty good season. Now, we'll see what he do in the playoffs. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for coming out, watching, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, pass it along, let somebody know. And yeah, man, we'll be back next week to cover who won those championship games, man. I think that that's gonna be a real good one because college football probably gonna go on a little break, especially with bowl weeks and all that stuff about to pop up, and they're gonna have to figure out who's gonna be in the playoffs. But yeah, I think college football is in a good space right now. If they were to go to 16, I think they should go to 16 for sure. But that's a conversation for a different day. Like, comment, subscribe. Number G takes, folks. Holla at y'all. Peace.